Hello, my name is Ashley Sands, and I'm a Senior Program Officer in the Office of Library Services at IMLS. Today, we would like to briefly go over IMLS and its strategic priorities, as well as provide an overview of the NLG and LB21 grant programs. We will also review eligibility criteria, project types, take you through the application process, and provide you with some tips to help make your application complete and competitive. IMLS is an independent grant-making agency and is the primary source of federal support for the nation's libraries and museums. IMLS helps ensure that all Americans have access to museum, library, and information services. You can read our mission and vision on this slide, as well as on our website, imls.gov. The IMLS strategic plan lays out several goals for our agency's work. In the first strategic goal, IMLS supports learning opportunities for people of all ages through museums and libraries, as well as the training and professional development of the museum and library workforce. In our second strategic goal, IMLS strengthens community collaboration and inclusive engagement across diverse audiences. In our third strategic goal, IMLS makes strategic investments that support collections care and management. IMLS also seeks to promote access to museum and library collections. You can find the strategic plan and more information on our website also. So today we're going to be talking about two of our grant programs, both of which have a deadline of September 21st, 2022. The first one we're going to discuss is the National Leadership Grants for Libraries program, otherwise known as NLG. Now, this grant program supports projects of national impact that address critical needs of the library and archives fields, and that has also the potential to advance practice in these professions to strengthen library and archival services for the American public. Projects are expected to have far-reaching impact, address a current issue facing libraries and archives, incorporate collaboration, and show relevant expertise about the topic at hand. Now, it is particularly important to note the importance of this far-reaching impact in a national leadership grant application. So applications can not only benefit a single individual or a single library or archives. Competitive proposals will show the potential for far-reaching impact across institutions. Please also note that we do not accept applications that are strictly for digitization, and we cannot accept applications for construction. More specifically, the goals for the NLG program are to generate projects of national impact that build the workforce and institutional capacity for managing the national information infrastructure and serving the information and education needs of the public, build the capacity of libraries and archives to lead and contribute to efforts that improve well-being and strengthen civic engagement, improve the ability of libraries and archives to provide broad access to and use of information and collections with an emphasis on collaboration to avoid duplication and maximize reach. They also can strengthen the ability of libraries to provide services to affected communities in the event of an emergency or disaster, or strengthen the ability of libraries, archives, and museums to work collaboratively for the benefit of the communities they serve. So each application should align your proposed project with one of these 5 program goals and one or more of the associated objectives. This goal and objective choice should be clearly identified in your narrative. The other program we will be discussing today is the Laura Bush 21st Century Librarian Program, or we say LB21 for short. This program is designed to support the development of a diverse workforce of librarians and archivists in order to meet the information needs of their communities. Now, like NLG, these projects are expected to propose far-reaching impact. They should address a current issue facing libraries and archives. They should include collaborative elements and show relevant expertise about the topic at hand, and broaden participation in the library and archives profession through the recruitment, education, and or retention of a diverse workforce. Again, like NLG, it's important to note this far-reaching impact component of an LB21 application. Generally speaking, applications cannot only benefit a single individual or a single library or archives. Competitive proposals show the potential for far-reaching impact across institutions. Again, for both NLG and LB21, please keep in mind that September 21st will be the only deadline for submitting preliminary proposals in fiscal year 2023. Some more specifics on the Laura Bush program. The goals for this program are to generate projects of far-reaching impact that recruit, train, develop, and retain a diverse workforce of library and archives professionals, develop faculty, library, and archives leaders by increasing the institutional capacity of libraries, archives, and graduate programs related to library and information science, or enhance the training and professional development of the library and archival workforce to meet the needs of their communities. Again, each applicant should align your proposed project with one of these three goals and one or more of the associated objectives. Again, this goal and objective choice should be clearly identified in the narrative. You may be asking, which program should I apply to? Here's some guidance for those of you who are unsure whether your idea is a better fit for NLG or LB21. If your project is primarily about the education and training of information professionals, whether that's formal or informal education, you should probably apply to LB21. If you are a non-tenured but tenure-track faculty member interested in research funding, you're going to want to look at the early career research development category in LB21. Otherwise, any other work of national significance to libraries, archives, and information science will likely fall under the NLG program. Please make sure you read through the notice of funding opportunity carefully to ensure your project is aligned with the correct grant program and that you meet eligibility criteria. Now, if you're unsure, please feel free to reach out to one of us here at IMLS for guidance. You can also find information on our website. We have landing pages for each of the two programs. Now, if you're on this webinar, it's likely you've already visited one or both of these pages. They provide an overview of the programs, links to the full notices of funding opportunity, or we say NOFOs, and also the relevant webinar recordings. So if you want to refer back to this webinar later, that's where you will be able to find it. In addition, on each page, you can find a list of the relevant program staff that you can contact with questions about the grant programs and the application process. Now, if you're unsure who to contact, please just reach out to any one of us and we'll make sure you get connected to the program officer whose expertise best aligns with your project idea. We also highly suggest you reach out to one of us in advance of the preliminary proposal deadline. Eligibility. So your organization is eligible to apply if you are, one, a unit of state or local government or a 501c3 nonprofit. Two, if you're located in one of the 50 states or territories. And three, if you're one of the 6 types of organizations, which we will list on this next slide. Please also note that in the Laura Bush program, there are additional eligibility restrictions for the early career research development proposals. So again, if you're interested in that, please pay close attention to that in the notice of funding opportunity. In addition to the criteria from the previous slide, your organization is eligible to apply if you are one of these 6 types of organizations. So this includes a library or a parent organization of a library, an academic or administrative unit, a digital library or a library agency, consortium, association, or organization. But again, if you have any questions about your eligibility, please reach out to someone on our program staff. Now, you are not eligible to apply to the NLG and LB21 programs if you are a federally operated institution, a for-profit institution, an individual, or a foreign country or organization. Now, a federally operated institution does not mean an institution that receives other federal grants. It means that you are a federal agency. So for example, the Library of Congress, the Smithsonian, we cannot fund you. But if you are an ineligible institution, we do encourage you to partner with an eligible institution. So while you may not be able to be the lead applicant, you can apply through this partnership with an eligible institution, and you may be able to receive funding in that matter. More information about this is provided in the guidelines on our website, but the point here is that it's really important to figure out early if you're eligible to apply to the program that's of interest to you. To ensure that you can submit your application on time, please ensure the following registrations are in place at your institution. First, an applicant organization must have a UE, a unique entity identifier. That's part of a current and active System for Award Management, SAM registration, and an active grants.gov registration with an approved authorized organization representative, or AOR. We strongly recommend that you check these registrations immediately to ensure that they're accurate, current, and active, as it can take a long time to update or renew each of them. So your institution must be registered with SAM. It's important to keep in mind that your SAM registration is good for only 1 year at a time, and so it has to be renewed annually. That is something you do not want to be doing right before the deadline. So we really recommend checking your status early on. Now, if it's not your job to keep track of things like the SAM registration, we recommend you contact the person at your organization whose job it is so that you can make sure this is in place. You'll also need an account at grants.gov. That's the portal through which you will submit your application. Please allow at least 2 weeks here for the registration process. And even if you know you're registered, you may want to make sure you know who is authorized at your institution to make sure they know their login information. So in fact, if you're not absolutely for sure about all these registrations and whether they're in place right now, we really recommend checking on it as soon as we're done with this webinar today. Again, it's not something you want to be trying to accomplish anywhere close to the deadline. All right, let's get back into the NLG and LB21 piece. All applicants to both programs will need to select a project type. These categories each have different limits regarding the period of performance of the grant. You see that here in this table. So planning grants. Planning grants are for preliminary project activities. Many people think about this as planning for a larger grant, but that's not a requirement. Planning activities may include conducting preliminary research, conducting an environmental scan, rapidly prototyping a new program or service, or working on creating the partnerships to support larger future activities. Forum grants are for convening experts and stakeholders around an issue of national significance. This could be to support one large meeting or perhaps several smaller meetings focused on a particular area in order to establish a shared agenda or understanding. Planning grants and forum grants will be for 1 to 2 years. Implementation grants and applied research grants, they support project implementation or development activities or investigations of key research questions in library and archival practice. These are limited to 1 to 3 years. Now, the LB21 program also offers the early career research development category. This supports the research of an untenured but tenure track library and information science faculty member and is also from 1 to 3 years. To give you a better sense of the scale, here are the maximum dollar amounts you may request based on the project type that you select. So in NLG and LB21, the minimum dollar request is $50,000. Now you'll see there's flexibility within these funding levels. But you should keep in mind that we have limited funding and both programs are highly competitive. We fund very few million-dollar projects. There's a value proposition that comes into play. The higher the amount you're asking for, the more compelling your case needs to be for how your work will impact the entire field and represent a significant return on investment. The notice of funding opportunities, of course, spell out these funding caps along with the corresponding cost share requirements. Speaking of cost share is not considered in the peer review of applications, but it is an eligibility criterion. Again, this is spelled out in the NOFOs. Generally, a 1-to-1 cost share is required for both programs, with a few exceptions. applicants in the applied research and the early career research development project types, as well as those requesting less than $249,999 are exempt from the cost share requirement. Additionally, LB21 applicants are not required to cost share the funds budgeted for student support. Please remember that if a cost is unallowable for IMLS funds, it is also unallowable for cost share. Now, each application must include 3 forms that are generated within grants.gov, as well as a 2-page preliminary proposal narrative, which includes a budget summary. No other documents will be accepted. Applications must be submitted through grants.gov before midnight Eastern Time on September 21st, 2022. Please also note that grants.gov has adopted a workspace feature, which you may be required to use to submit your proposal. Again, we recommend you give yourself ample time to familiarize yourself with this system. IMLS's internal system for receiving applications from grants.gov will only accept documents in PDF. Any applications that include a non-PDF document will be bounced back by our system and will be considered not submitted. So we recommend ensuring all documents are in PDF prior to submittal, and please submit early. You really do not want to wait until 11 p.m. on the night of the deadline to submit it. So after proposals are submitted through grants.gov, IMLS staff screen them for completeness and eligibility. After that, proposals undergo peer review. Following peer review, all applicants will receive reviewer comments and feedback. Then the most competitive applicants will be invited to submit a full proposal for further consideration. So those applicants who are invited to submit full proposals will need to submit those by March 17th, 2023. The required components for full proposals are much more extensive and are listed in the notices of funding opportunity. These applications are also submitted through grants.gov and similarly will undergo a peer review process. Full proposal applicants will be provided reviewer comments and feedback regardless of whether the project is selected for funding or not. The IMLS director makes final funding decisions, which will be announced in July 2023. And of course, that's always pending the availability of funds and the discretion of the director. So for the final part of this webinar, we'll go over some tips for preparing a competitive application at this first phase of the proposal process. You should think about the preliminary proposal as a movie trailer. You're providing the highlights of what a full proposal would include. Now, we recognize this is quite a challenge, fitting all this information about your project into 2 pages. So you'll want to be both as succinct and as specific as possible. Please note that the search awarded grants section of the IMLS website has the full and preliminary proposals associated with the LB21 and NLG projects that have been funded over the past few years. This could be really helpful to review as you start to work on your proposal. Preliminary proposals should follow the general sections of a full proposal narrative and address the project justification, project work plan, and project results and impact. In the Laura Bush program, it must also include a diversity plan. So some elements that you may want to address in your preliminary proposal include clearly identifying the project director and any project partners. This can be done easily and quickly in the first sentence. So institution X and institution Y will partner together to make A or accomplish B. They request Z dollars from IMLS. We really recommend foregoing lengthy introductions and getting directly into the meat of what your project is about in the first sentence or 2. Then in your project justification, you'll want to ground your project in current and relevant research and practice. You'll want to give an outline of your proposed work plan. What will it look like and how will it be accomplished? If it's a research proposal, You must articulate specific research questions and describe your data collection and analysis methods. You should make clear the relevance of your project to the program goal, and also to demonstrate the potential for far-reaching impact and projected outcomes of your work. Note again that a budget summary is required within all preliminary proposal narratives. That budget summary must include the total anticipated cost of the project, including cost share if it's required, and it should include a breakdown of how the funds would be allocated into different cost categories. Please note that proposals that do not include this information will be rejected without review. Now, IMLS program officers are available to discuss your project ideas with you and also to look over one draft of your preliminary proposal. If you'd like a program officer to take a look at a draft, please email it to one of us by September 2nd, 2023. Sending it even earlier is preferred, but September 2nd will be the last day we're allowed to accept drafts. One of us will take a look at it, and then we can schedule a call with you to discuss your draft and to answer any questions you might have. Please refer to the list at the end of this presentation to identify the program officer whose expertise best aligns with the subject matter in your proposal. Now, while we can continue to answer questions you may have about the application process, we can read and provide feedback on only one draft submission for each proposal. IMLS will instruct reviewers to consider the following review criteria when they're evaluating the preliminary proposals. So applicants are going to want to keep these in mind when you're writing your 2-page narrative. Project justification. How well does the proposal align with the intent of the grant program as articulated in the program's goals and objectives? How well does it address current, far-reaching, and significant needs, challenges, or opportunities in the field? Project work plan. What elements are in place and what elements are missing for successful execution of the proposed project? What recommendations do you have for improving the proposal? Results and impact. Considering the topic, project type selection, amount of funds requested, and scope of potential impact, should the applicant be invited to submit a proposal at the full proposal at this time or not? Why or why not? And for the Laura Bush program, reviewers will also be asked to consider the diversity plan. To what degree will the project strengthen the field's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion practices and contribute to the recruitment, development, and or retention of a diverse workforce of library and archives professionals? The notices of funding opportunity also have specific guidance for applications in the applied research and early career research development categories. This slide lists some of the questions we ask you to consider. This includes thinking about the research questions, theoretical framing, research methods, and other aspects of your proposed project. Please note that applied research and early career research development preliminary proposals must include research questions within their narrative. So as a summary, here are some things you can do to help ensure you're submitting your most competitive proposal. First, you've already accomplished by watching this webinar. Next, you're going to want to choose the grant program and goal that best fits with your proposal idea. Some other tips are that you should read through the funded preliminary proposal narratives from last year. Get some ideas of what was successful and how they used that limited 2 pages of space in their narrative. You're going to want to articulate your project goals as quickly as possible in the preliminary proposal. You're going to need to make sure you include a budget paragraph. And of course, be sure that you're submitting all of the completed and required documents in PDF format. We also highly recommend having a colleague unfamiliar with your project read through your proposal prior to submission. We all get really close to our work, and this will help ensure that the proposal you're submitting clearly communicates your project idea. So here is succinctly the important dates you need to be aware of for this year's application cycle. Of most importance right now, of course, is the optional draft proposal deadline and the preliminary proposal deadline. So again, please read through the notices of funding opportunity carefully to ensure you're meeting eligibility criteria and have fulfilled all application requirements. And as we've already mentioned, but I want to hit home again, program staff at IMLS are available to assist with any questions you have about the proposal process. Here you see some of the topical areas reflected in each program officer's expertise and funding portfolio. Now, this table is not intended to be comprehensive, but more so is intended to give you a sense of the best person to reach out to. That being said, again, we're a close group, so if you believe, we may believe one of our colleagues actually has better expertise to discuss your project, and so we'll ensure that the person with the closest expertise gets back to you. Again, don't forget that program staff are available to discuss your project ideas with you and to look over a draft of your preliminary proposal. To take advantage of this opportunity, you must email a draft of your proposal no later than the end of the day, Friday, September 2nd. One draft submission is the limit for each proposal. You're more than welcome and even encouraged to email or contact us well in advance of that deadline, though. Now, thank you for joining us for this presentation, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.